Brandon from California. Brandon is going to recommend 3 articles that he recommends every professing Christian and probably everyone in the world should read. Here's Brandon.
Yeah, so Andrew, the abundance of scripture that you just read from Carpenter's article on gospel atonement, that's just a wonderful amount of scripture there in total support of the true atonement of Christ and concerning the imputed righteousness of Christ to believers, which is the only righteousness that satisfies God's requirement. And the names of those articles, and once again, this is not a blanket endorsement of Trinity Foundation or John Robbins, but these articles that I'm sure you're familiar with are along the lines of the stuff we talked about earlier. One of them is called RC Sproul on saving faith. The second one is called The Gospel According to John Macarthur. And the third one is called Pied Piper, concerning John Piper. The reason I want people to read these is because these preachers, with their mega churches and all their books and all their popularity, are so celebrity-like, and everything they say, it seems to just be eaten up and believed by most of neo-reformed, false Christianity, and out there, I mean, it's just really, you run into a lot of this stuff out there in these neo-reformed, like OPC and Reformed Baptist churches. There's even a denomination, I think it's URCNA, United Reformed Churches of North America, I think, and there's one man, I think he teaches, or maybe even founded, I'm not too knowledgeable, but his last name is Godfrey, and I think it was Westminster Theological Seminary, but his son is here in Los Angeles as an elder and a teacher at a church that's right down the street from here in LA where I live, and it's called Grace United, I think, and it's a Dutch Reformed church, and this guy is, he's quoting C.S. Lewis from his books and in the pulpit, and so I challenged those elders at the church, and they banned me from the church. They said, Godfrey wrote me an email. I think his name is William Godfrey Jr. I'm not sure, but he sent me an email, and he said to me, I've had a discussion with my elders here about you, and you're not allowed here anymore. And all I did was talk to him about reprobation and some of the views. Once again, this is not a blanket endorsement of Gordon Clark, but I talked to him about Clark's interpretation, or just a more accurate translation of John 1:1. It can be rendered, in the beginning was the logic, and the logic was with God, and the logic was God. And so these over at this Dutch Reformed URCNA church had a major problem with that. They said, well, we're on Cornelius Van Til's side. We endorse and promote his views. And so, as you can see, you can understand why I had problems with that church, and they had problems with me. But another issue I wanted to talk about with you is Monty Collier, who is pretty popular on YouTube for his videos. He just sent me an email about 2 weeks ago saying that it is wrong for me to judge Cornelius Van Til, John Piper, James White, John Macarthur, RC Sproul, and anybody else that see, Monty Collier is really popular for calling these guys heretics, and he won't even call, not even a single one of them, unregenerate. And I asked him, why not? And he said, Brandon, you're claiming to be omniscient. I said, you will not say to me, Cornelius Van Til was unregenerate. And he said, no, I will not say that. I don't know his heart. And I was dumbfounded. I was shocked. I couldn't believe my eyes when I was reading that email. So Monty Collier has shown his true colors, and he was a friend of mine, and I thought he was my brother for several years. He's not. You know, he's a compromiser. As hard of a stand as he seems to take, those are his true colors. Monty Collier will not judge an Arminian or a tolerant Calvinist to be unregenerate. And that's why I enjoy the material of the website Outside the Camp, because there's no beating around the bush. There's no, those men over there that run for that website are not afraid to make biblical judgments like Christ and the writers of Scripture. And I'm not either. And from talking to you, Andrew, I'm getting the feeling that you don't feel like that either. So I'm really happy to meet you, talk with you, and once again, I think Monty Collier has shown his true colors to me recently. And if you didn't know that about him, I wanted to share that with you and talk about it with you.
Amen. Yeah. If you don't abide in the doctrine of Christ, you have not God. And we're gonna, just before I have to get the phone back, are we going to sing A Mighty Fortress?
I think I can sing some of it along with you. I might not remember all the words.
Okay, let me pull up the lyrics. The mighty fortress is our God. Our bulwark never fails. Oh wait, we might even get the tune. Ready? Alright, I'm pulling it up. Here we go. Oh no, it doesn't play on this. Okay, our mighty fortress is our God, our bulwark never failing. Our helper, he amid the flood, our mortal ills prevailing. For still our ancient foe does seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate. Do you know Be Thou My Vision?
It's been a long time since I heard that in a church.
What about, do you know the, our God is an awesome God, he reigns from heaven above. You know that one, Brandon?
No, I don't, not 100%. I know bits and pieces.
Do you know, what about, hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. That's, what psalm is that? That's Psalm, I forgot. Uh-oh. I think I'm out of time. Brandon, I think I'm going to give the phone back to my wife and the computer. I got a low battery, and I'm going to stop it here. And what am I going to call that video, Brandon?